Okay, got my cocoa. All set. So, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Build, where I build it and you guys hopefully learn from it. I hope. So, this week we're looking at an archetype that gets abused. It gets used as an engine to promote degenerate combos, such as wrong intermediate turbo, or of course, topological for your 6, so your whole hand is gone because your opponent did this. And of course, the infamous old U-Link that used to exist. This archetype just got abused so often. It really sucks. It's actually a really fun archetype. And it's also an archetype now that when you see the first card played, some people just surrender. Or they just, and you hear them verbally groan just through their nose, just, ugh, because they assume they're going to get their whole hand gumblarred, or they're going to have to deal with an unkillable boss monster right off the bat that's going to cost them the game before they even get a chance to play. What deck is this? Well, it's Gouki.
What up, Mott?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, you see that? See that? Notice something? There's no time, but I haven't won. God, I'm really shaky. And like, you can see here, there's no links in my graveyard. And if you're like, oh, well, obviously I'm lying here. I can't surrender. Like, I can select my chain. I just can't actually win this game. Bah!
What up, Mott?
I warned you. I really did. At least I hoped I warned you well enough. That was easily the worst match I have ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I started this game. And I started playing back when the Yugi and Kaiba starter decks came out. I've been playing since this game came out, and that is the worst game I think I have ever played in my entire history. I'm going to say think, because I might have played a worse game when I was a kid. Yeah, I would have to go back to when I was a kid for all the misplays that was in that. And I thought the Crusadia was bad. Oh, but anyways, we're not here to talk about my failures. I'm not a great player. I'm on record as saying that. That's what's great about a YouTube channel. We're here to talk about this wonderful deck that I fucked up playing. So here we go. We've got 3 Dino Wrestler Prankatops. We've got 2 of our Gouki Bear Hugs, 3 Gouki Rescorpios, 3 Gouki Suplex, 3 Gouki Twist Cobra, 1 Junk Forward, 3 Gouki Headbat, 3 Gouki Octostretch, 1 Raigeki. You have your 3 Gouki Face Turns, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Soul Charge, 3 Gouki Rematch, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Monster Reborn, 3 World Legacy Succession, 1 Twin Twister, 1 Moon Mirror Shield, 1 Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, 1 Axe of Despair, and 1 United We Stand. Now, over to the extra deck, which is missing a card. We'll get to that when I finish going through it. How's that sound, everybody? 1 Topological Bomber Dragon, 1 Borolo Dragon, 1 Boral Sword Dragon, 1 Gouki the Master Ogre, 1 Gouki Destroy Ogre, 2 Gouki the Great Ogres, 1 Topological Trispania, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 2 Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, and 2 Gouki Heel Ogres. And of course, last but not least, it wouldn't be a warrior deck without good old Summon Sorceress. Go ahead and sort that, and let's discuss this deck as a whole. Dino Wrestler Prankatops is basically one of the best tech cards of the format right now, honestly. And why wouldn't you put him in here? The only bad part about him is he's not a warrior, but he special summons himself, he's got a 2600 body, and he can pop a card on the field. Why wouldn't you run him, especially in a beatdown strategy and not a degenerate strategy? Hell, run him in a degenerate strategy. You should just run him, he's great. Hugbear is basically here to get special summoned by Suprex, or heel turn, or rematch, just to get his effect. That's what he's here for, and he's got a 2400 body. Rescorpio is kind of the same, except for you can drop a 2300 body. That's basically his big deal. He's a 2300 body. Suprex is the goddamn best Gouki in this entire deck, in my opinion. Coming in and special summoning a Gouki from your hand can basically set up your board for beatdowns before you even link summon. If your opponent has nothing on their board because they're just hoping you don't OTK them, you can drop an 1800 and a 2400 and just blast them for a lot of damage right there. I believe it's 4200, but now that I've said it, I'll be wrong probably. And that's assuming you don't have freaking Headbag coming in to add another 800 on top of that. As said, this deck can put out a lot of damage without even link summoning. But anyhow, you also have Gouki Twist Cobra. which if you can get him on the board can really increase your beatdown potential with his effect, where you contribute one Gouki monster to target another Gouki monster you control to gain attack. He's got 1600 himself, but if you've got Octo Stretch or if you have Headbat, you can contribute off one of them just to give a little bit of a boost. Or, normally what I like to say to do, is you can beat your opponent in the face with 2 big Goukis, but when you attack with the second one after you've attacked with the first one, you use his effect to sacrifice the first one, so they give a big boost. So you're basically getting to hit them in the face twice. And if that's not wrestling to the extreme, then I don't know really what is anymore. One junk forward. Honestly, you could run more than one junk forward. He's there just to be warrior fodder to get into a Zold or something else, since he can special summon himself, and he can help you rebound when your opponent wipes your board, which they'll do sooner or later. Headbat I've already briefly mentioned, but he special summons himself for Link fodder, and when he does that, he also increases a monster's attack by 800. You do have to be able to discard one Gouki card from your hand, though, to the graveyard, but that's not a big deal, because you can get rid of some of these bigger boys that you can't summon normally, and then bring them back with heel turn. Or face turn. Is it face? Yeah, it's face turn. I don't know why I keep saying heel turn. But yeah, you can special summon him, and you'll already have one of their Gouki on your field, and then you can activate that to swap him for the one that you discarded. So it's a pretty nice little play to get some extra beef on the board. And again, that's not even talking about going into Link summoning or Link potential. That's all everybody wants Goukis for, as I brought up in the beginning of this video, is the Link potential, but there's actually a lot of fun in the beatdown. Octo Stretch is really good for having damage that you would take, but basically he's just a Gouki to get in your graveyard to special summon back. Hi guys, thanks for texting me. I guess I should, be professional and put that on vibrate, I guess. I'm not professional though. Raigeki opens up your boards for attempted OTKs or just to punch your opponent in the face. The Gouki face turn, or heel turn as I'm renaming it now, lets you target a Gouki you control and one Gouki monster in your graveyard. You destroy the one that's on the field, which will trigger all their abilities, because when the Gouki goes to the graveyard, you get to search a Gouki, always handy, and you get to special summon that other monster from the graveyard. So you can do any of the special summon from the graveyard effects that put them in defense mode, get rid of them, and bring out something in attack mode, thus filling your board for beat potential. Reinforcement of the Army allows you to search out something like Suprex to get your plays going, or Headbat to continue your plays. Soul Charge is basically here for Link summoning potential, because obviously you can't attack, but if you're late game on some of these grind games, and with Thunder Dragons running around, Sky Strikers running around, or some of these other decks that have been running around, if you get into the grind game, your deck's going to go through all your Goukis. This allows you to bring all those resources back to reset up a board. It's obvious, it's Soul Charge. You might kill yourself trying to use it, but that's Soul Charge. If you resolve this with a graveyard of Goukis and your opponent doesn't have a board to stop you, you've probably got the game. Gouki Rematch is the best spell card in this deck. Easily. You get to target 2 Gouki monsters in your graveyard with different levels, special summon them in defense mode. You can only use it once per turn, but this will set you up for Link plays. This sets you up for using heel turn. It's face turn, or not face turn. Yeah, it's face turn. Gouki face turn. I was right. I was about to call it foot turn. I just can't get that card's name right. But heel turn. Heel turn. That's what I'm renaming it. But you can use that, bring a couple back, use that, or you use heel turn to get another puncher back out, or you can use it for what I obviously use it for and what most people use it for, going into higher level Link plays, or Link climbing after you've already done some Link plays. Foolish Burial is just to get something in your graveyard so you can bring it back. That's what it's there for, and it works great for that. It is a 1-up, so you have the problem of not seeing it enough. Monster Born, it's an extender, and also, again, it's going to bring something back from your graveyard to punch an opponent in the face, and that's what you want to do with this deck. Or go into a huge Link. 3 World Legacy Successions, which allow you to put more damage on board when you go into your Link plays like the Great Ogre. Or Boral Sword, or to help you get into Boral Sword, or set up a fucking U-Link with this deck, of course. But that's not what we're here for. Twin Twister, you basically need to run some form of spell trap removal in any deck. I highly suggest, unless you're playing a deck that's going to kill an opponent in one hit and doesn't care about their board, you need Twin Twister. And even then, unless you're playing like an extreme lockdown that's going to prevent your opponent from doing anything if you go first, maybe then don't run it, but I honestly suggest always running some form of spell trap removal, and this is the one that I chose to go with this deck, because the discard cost isn't that big a deal with all of the recursion that you're doing. Moon Mirror Shield's one of the best equip spells ever. Definitely run it. Phoenix Blade allows you to do a lot with the nightmares and other things to allow you to reoccur it, to reuse it. If you have other things that make you discard, like Twin Twisters, you can do that to bring it back so you can use it even if you don't have anything in your hand. It's a great card. Maybe they'll ban it someday. Axe of Despair is literally just here to be used with Isolde. Even though I won a game using it, I misplayed on that game, which I don't know for sure whether or not that would have affected it. Axe of Despair is mostly just in here just to use with for Isolde to ditch into the graveyard if you're not ditching Phoenix Blade, which honestly Phoenix Blade is the better play. So, United We Stand is in here to use for Isolde if you draw your other stuff, but also it's in here because you're going to swarm the field, and it can take Gouki Rematch from just bringing nothing to the board except for link plays to all of a sudden turning it into 1600 attack to punch with an opponent in the face with. Yes, you could say, well, they might have Twin Twisters, or, oh, what if they snow you? But if you equip it to the Great Ogre, you don't have to worry about snow anymore. Fuck you, Fairy Tale Snow. So, let's get into the extra deck. The extra deck is kind of controversial because of one of the cards in here. And I'm not going to say controversial because you guys are going to be upset about it, but I'm a little annoyed with using it, even though I actually really love the card. But we'll get to it last. Topological Bomber Dragon is just in here to clear boards, because you can get to him pretty easy, and then pop something with any of your recursion to just wipe your opponent's board, if you remember how to use him correctly, and don't accidentally special summon something to him when you don't need it. Borreload's just a classic Link 4. He's a good way to get yourself out of trouble. Master Ogre, I don't even suggest running. I never go into him. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe I should. He does negate stuff. But, I mean, you have to bounce a bunch of your Gouki cards that you control back to your hand, the target monsters, then negate their effects until the end of the turn. It just doesn't seem worth it. But he can attack all your opponent's monsters, so maybe going into him more often would have been a better decision. I just only really go into Great Ogre. So, Gouki Destroy Ogre. He can stop your monsters from being destroyed, which is really handy, and probably is something I should look into going to on a first turn, even though I didn't, because I never go into him, so I don't think about it. But, I mean, he locks you into special summoning Gouki monsters, which with this deck having 2 link tracks, you really don't want to do that too often. I mean, he's good, but I just didn't go into him, and again, maybe that's a problem I have. Gouki Great Ogre. Yeah. It's pretty easy to go into if you think about it beforehand and don't just blindly link summon like an idiot. But all monsters on the field lose attack equal to their original defense. If this card be destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy one of their monsters this card points to instead. Well, that's not a problem for Goukis, because no Gouki has any defense value. They all have 0 defense, so they won't lose anything, while your opponent is going to suffer a lot while Great Ogre's on the field, unless they're running Link Spam. If they're running Link Spam, then he's staring at them uselessly, but he's still a 2,600 body. And he can stay on the board if they don't kill him in a weird way, like flipping him back to the extra deck or your hand or wherever. So, I highly suggest running him and going into him pretty often, actually. I like him a lot, at least. Topological Trisbania is basically to deal with any deck that's going to spam the crap out of spell and trap zone stuff. Your Paleozoics, your Altar guys, anything like that, because Gouki can go into this guy, trigger his effect, and you can deal a little bit of effect damage to put you closer to that beatdown. Just remember not to link him off for a useless nightmare. Summon Sorceress. I kind of didn't want to run her, because she's a step in the degeneracy, and we all kind of hope that she goes away a bit. But, I mean, she's not gone, she's not expensive, so I really didn't have any reason not to include her, and she does help this deck get into the bigger monsters a bit. You do have to be careful what you do with her, though, because she can get you in some trouble. As in, if you don't remember that your higher level ones require multiple effect monsters, you'll end up with her and one card and then wonder why you can't go anywhere. Like me, because I'm dumb. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus, just because they're good alternatives, they can help you get rid of a spell card, and again, spell card removal is great, or they can help you get rid of a special summon monster that's giving you a bunch of crap. Isolde should be a staple in any warrior deck, that's going to link. I mean, I love her in Heroes because she can fix your hand and get you your fusion materials. She's just awesome. I definitely suggest running her. She's amazing. Please, please, due to the degenerate combos, don't get her banned. I will cry. Not as much as when the day that Shaddoll Construct comes back. Well, El Shaddoll Construct's still here. So that leads us to Gouki Shadow Ogre. Or Heel Ogre. Sorry, I read his Japanese name, or his OCG name. He's okay. He's a stepping stone. That's all he is. If you're not going to go into Isolde because you want a Gouki to go into Great Ogre, you'll go into Shadow Ogres. Most of the time, you might even skip Shadow Ogre, unless you're just trying to summon two real quick, link them off, and then use Rematch. You're not going to use Shadow Ogre's effect. You're not going to use it to beat. It's only got 1,000 attack. It's a stepping stone, and that's all it is. So time to talk about my controversial extra deck card. If you remember him from there, Borrelsword Dragon. Why is he controversial? Well, he's controversial because of one little thing. Just one. Anyone who's watched some of my previous videos might remember that the reason why I say I won't use Infinite Impermanence most often in most of my decks is because it's a $90 card and you shouldn't spend $90 on a piece of cardboard just to make your deck have that extra edge unless if you're taking this game really seriously. Borrelsword Dragon, last time I looked, was $81. Let me look here and see. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. This is why, right here, this is why I consider him kind of a controversial thing. I won't use Impermanence because of its price, but look at Borrelsword Dragon, and I'm using him. $90 right there. $87.99. $85. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for using him. I mean, he makes any deck an OTK machine, and he makes it in this deck even meaner. Even better at the beatdown. So it's a great card. Anyone who doesn't know what Borrelsword does, because I do have a lot of people, or I have some people who watch this who don't know everything about Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of that. Once per turn, you can target one attack position monster, change it to defense position. Also, this card can make a second attack during your battle phase this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. So if you activate it, they can't just bop your monster or something. It's going through. Maybe not his second attack, but that's going to go through. And also, once per turn when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can activate this effect. Until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to half that monster's current attack. And if it does, that monster's current attack is halved. So anyone who remembers Ryoku, ugh, I feel old for mentioning that. He's a Ryoku attack on legs, and he's already at 3,000 attack power. And he gets another attack. So if you attack an opponent's attack position monster, hit them for that original damage, like let's say he attacks a Blue Eyes, just for simplicity's sake. He's going to attack, half their attack, gain 1,500, so 3,000 damage is guaranteed to go through. And if your opponent's board is now open, you now have a 4,500 going straight at them. He, by himself, will deal 7,500 damage on that turn. If you have one other monster in attack position, your game is just won. And one thing you can do is you can use his effect on one of your Gouki monsters, put it in defense position, use good old heal turn, and bring a different one out for the finish. It's insane. Yes, that is against another high attack power monster, but that's still insane the amount of damage him by himself can do. It's why he's such a good card, and it's why he's $90. I really almost didn't use Summon Sorceress or Boral Sword, though, because some of the degeneracy and the cost of one of the cards. But anyways, that's the deck. Is it a good deck? Yeah. This is definitely not a competitively built Gouki deck, but this is definitely a fun Gouki Beatdown, and if you're really like how Goukis play and the beatdown aspect without going into competitive thing, this is a really good build to go off of. You can get rid of some of the higher priced cards like Boral Sword, Boral Load, Topological. You can go pure Gouki on your extra deck, and it probably won't hurt your beatdown potential of this deck too much. I mean, it will hurt it losing Boral Sword, but... So I honestly suggest if you want to play a fun, casual deck, Gouki Beatdown's the way to go. It is extremely fun. I had fun playing it. I didn't think I would. I definitely need to play this more to kind of learn better how it goes, but I highly recommend. Lots of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like down below. And if you'd like to see more like this, I've got an entire playlist of Let's Builds. If you'd like to see some stronger decks, I've got Sky Strikers down in there and a couple other great decks. If you guys like some more casual things like you saw in this video, I've also got some casual builds for things like Shadal's, some other older format decks. And let's not forget, if you enjoyed a little bit more crappy decks, I do have Exodia Graveyard. So check them on out if you would like. If you'd like to see more videos like this as they come out, subscribe. And hey, have fun.
And what you gonna do, Macho Man, when the whole world full of Hulkamaniacs destroy you?